Welcome to REVXP Presents. I'm Chris Mann, the SVP of REVXP, the global gaming and esports division of Revolution. And today, I am thrilled to be joined by one of my good friends and one of the top guys in the industry, Mike Milanov. What's up, Mike?
How's it going, Chris? Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on here to kick off the year.
Well, you're the first guest of 2023, and I am really excited to have you batting leadoff. You obviously, we'll get into your introduction here, but you and I have been friends for a few years now, and long time coming having you on. I know you're a globetrotter, so your schedule's been busy. So welcome, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to dive in.
Mike is the CBDO of Team Liquid. That's the Chief Business Development Officer. As CBDO, Mike leads TL's new business endeavors across partnerships, collaborations, mergers, and co-branded licensing programs. By the way, you guys have an incredible merch and co-licensing. If you guys haven't checked out TL, like this obviously isn't co-branded, but they do an incredible job with Tokidoki and Marvel, and I'm sure I'm missing it, but there's a lot of hoodie orgs out there, but not orgs that do quality merch like TL, and I was going to give you props on that. Thank you for the sweatshirt, and you guys are always crushing it on the merch game. So, I just got sidetracked, but I just wanted to call that out there. And of course, you used to be the COO of Team Liquid. You essentially scaled the org from 20 employees to over 200, and that also included developing your Alienware training facilities in both California and Netherlands. So two incredible facilities. I've had the pleasure of visiting the one in Santa Monica. Congrats on those. Did I miss anything?
No, thank you so much for the intro. That was great.
You want to hire me as your hype man before your meeting?
I'm going to need to. Yeah, you're coming to every meeting from now on.
I got you. Well, it's well-deserved, and obviously you've had some incredible accomplishments within the industry. So the format is simple. We're not changing it for 2023. It's a tried-and-true formula. Big shout-out to all of you that are joining us from Synopsys. Obviously, we're part of the Synopsys media family. We're distributed through their Thursday newsletter on esports and gaming. And let's start it off with the question everybody wants to know. Mike, what games are you playing?
Definitely playing as soon as I have time at the end of the day, usually after 10 p.m. Currently, a lot of World of Warcraft Dragonflight, the new expansion. Have been playing that game for over 17 years. Nothing has changed in 2023. And then League of Legends and a lot of Fortnite. So those three are what I'm making time for currently.
So that's amazing. I've never actually played WoW, if you can believe that. I just never got into it. League, I'm terrible at. So let's talk Fortnite. No build or build?
Definitely no build, which is the boomer answer, which I think everybody watching will probably play that game mode as well. But it actually brought me back to the game. I played super early in 2018, and then when I heard about no builds, the thing I was struggling with the most was building. Yeah. So then I came back to Fortnite.
Listen, I'm 42. These fingers don't build. I can't keep up with the 15, 16-year-olds, the kids out there. And
too much APM.
Too much. And it's funny, our team, I hadn't played no build, and our team, we had a little happy hour before the holidays, and we played Fortnite no build, and we won. And then I went, and I was like, this is fun. And then I won a bunch of games solo, and I was like, whoa. And then I discovered Marvel Snap and haven't.
So you're killing it. You're killing it at Fortnite. We have to play.
Well, let's get it going, man. Let's duos it up. When I'm not playing Marvel Snap, I'm definitely down to play some Fortnite. So
you got it.
So Mike, let's jump in, because we got brand marketers out there, and the whole design of REVXP Presents is to help brand marketers understand how they can activate within gaming. And TL, obviously, Team Liquid, one of the top esports global orgs. You have an incredible roster of partners, and you've got tremendous success both on the partnership side and competitively. So when brands think about activating with Team Liquid in gaming, what should they know?
Yeah, the business has definitely evolved. I've been here since 2015, and it definitely started as team sponsorships only. A lot of logo impressions, then it went into some original content and custom media solutions being offered in the package, and the organization kept growing because it's not just one sport, one game, one team. It's Team Liquid across 14 different esports titles that each have their own audience and preferred platform and viewership and style of content that we do, and kind of their own business model. And so the business has evolved over time, where a team sponsorship is truly either at a per game level, at a regional level, or at a global level. And then it has its own genre, its own inventory, its own way to execute its own content, its own way to display the messaging. So, as the enterprise has matured though, we also have capabilities outside of team sponsorships because we're seeing brands approach us in different ways. So sometimes they want to do something smaller because they've never done anything on Twitch before. Sometimes they've never heard of esports or Team Liquid before. So maybe they want to explore an influencer marketing thing on Twitch. We can do that, right? So in addition to our 100+ athletes, we also have 20 influencers and creators that we can figure out an activation with. And that's kind of the influencer marketing side. Sometimes a brand wants to do an independent sponsorship deal with one of our players and isn't looking to do the entire org. Very similar to what you do with Chipotle. You like to get creators together. You like to get kind of from all shapes and sizes and areas, right? So we have those capabilities internally at Team Liquid. And that requires a lot of education because brands don't always expect, when you think about esports and sports and organizations, in traditional sports, the org doesn't have access to all of the athletic inventory. Like if LeBron wants to go do a shoe deal, he doesn't need to go through his team. Sure. But with Team Liquid, we can do a shoe deal for Average Jonas or Alexa or things like that. In addition to that, we have a big owned and operated kind of platform stack, tech stack, let's say. We own all the most popular wikis in esports called Liquipedia. And so sometimes a brand will come to us and say, like TurboTax, for example, hey, it's about to be tax season. We're looking for your very standard banner ad on esports and gaming platforms. Like, can you give us something on Liquipedia? The answer is yes. I mean, that's very easy to do. Then that could also lead to an influencer marketing activation. It could lead to a bigger team sponsorship conversation or what have you. And lastly, we also have owned and operated inventory and events. So we recently hosted Race to World First, which is in the game World of Warcraft. And that's kind of like the Super Bowl of the MMO game genre. Shuts down Twitch for 2 weeks. Everybody tunes in. And that's a production, kind of a first party owned and operated production that we do in-house on the twitch.tv/Team Liquid channel. Sometimes brands want to be involved with the event only. They don't want to touch the competitive athletic IP or the global team sponsorship. They don't want influencer marketing. They don't want traditional banners. They're looking to make a difference with the event. And so thank you to all the partners that recently supported Race to World First. So that's how we've grown over the last 8 years in these various brand conversations. It's not a copy and paste approach. They come to us, we do a lot of learning about each other, and then we see what fits. We do some education about, who we are, what we've done, and where we can go together.
Yeah, and obviously you and I have known each other since 2016 when I was working on Team Mobile, and I think it's interesting to see your guys' approach has always been much more sophisticated than a lot of other teams out there. When I was on the team side, we tried to bring a custom activation for every brand. Listen to the brand. And that's not something unfortunately, especially early days, 2016, 2015, teams are just cut and paste. Hey, we've got a 24/7, or we got a comms video, or, we're going to slap your logo here. And that's not the model. And as we've, now evolved the business, you guys are really on the cutting edge of that. And that's the model that brands want to see. That's the beauty of this space, whether it be in gaming or esports. The model of, just inventory that exists like traditional sports teams, if brands wanted that, they'd go to traditional sports. They want to be able to create custom activations. And that's the beauty of our space, the innovation of our space, the allure of our space. And I think when I think about esports teams, I don't necessarily, especially when I think about Team Liquid, I don't think about a team that plays or participates in one game or one sport, right? You said 14 different games. 14 games is 14 different communities, 14 different, very distinct demographics. So as a brand, if you're looking to cast a wide net in gaming or be really focused, Team Liquid offers an incredible opportunity to do that, and you have, you're able to make like really turnkey solutions for brands, whether through media, through Liquipedia, through working with your creators or pros. There's just you offer a lot in terms of opportunities for brands, and I think it's it is a lot of education, because most brand marketers are used to just like, hey, I want to sponsor the New York Giants. That means I'm gonna get XYZ inventory, and that's it. And that's not the case in what you guys do.
Yeah, and what's really crazy too is the sheer viewership that you get by being involved on the competitive side or on the owned and operated side. So I'll give you some stats. We just finished the month of December where our owned and operated Twitch community generated 20 million viewed hours just in that month, which is #1 on the entire platform. We were super proud of that stat. I've shared that stat with some folks on the original content site at Netflix, and they were like, wait, how many hours did you say in one calendar year? That's crazy. That's like somebody binging a show over and over, right? Like a popular tier 1 show. And then on the tournament stage, Liquid with Battle Royale included for 5 years in a row, and we call this non-owned and operated because it's us showing up with our uniform at a tournament. We usually make it pretty far into the playoffs or semifinals or finals. We're also the most viewed esports organization on the tournament stage for 5 years in a row. So that's another 140 million viewed hours per year. So you kind of get constant relevance throughout the year, where then you can pick these major beats to activate against, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's important that you're talking about owned and operated. Team Liquid's Twitch channel. A lot of teams in this space are essentially selling you access to their creator roster. And that's where they're driving the impressions, the engagements. The creators are, not the own channels of the team. And I personally think that that's where teams struggle, because creators, let's be real, the market is extremely volatile with creators. And also creators come and go from organizations. And so to be a team that controls your own inventory, your inventory is actually scalable, is really important when it comes to working with brands, because you're not selling access to not only creators, but you're also selling them access to own channels, which you control, which you program, which it's not dependent on creators being on their own channels. And that's super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you have an MCN-like structure on Twitch where, 120 channels are called Team Liquid. You click into it. I mean, my channel's on there. Maybe I'm live. I'm running my rotator. Like, yeah, that generates impressions, but that's kind of the old way of doing things. That doesn't actually provide real throughout the funnel value for the brand, right? It's not clickable. There's some dilution there. Yeah. Yes, we report on that. Yes, those impressions are in the hundreds of billions, but that's not the only thing behind the partnership and behind the engagement. So definitely want to make sure that we're innovating.
Absolutely. So talking about innovating, thanks for that segue, Mike. As we look to the future, what are you thinking about in terms of innovation? What are you looking forward to? What are you guys at Team Liquid doing, exploring, and what your brands have on their radar?
Yeah, well, in 2017, we were the first team in the Western world to professionalize the industry with the opening of a state-of-the-art training facility. And we did that in Santa Monica, as you mentioned, in partnership with Alienware. So that's our Alienware training facility in North America, which is on the West Coast. Then we continued that momentum and opened our European headquarters in Utrecht, which is in the Netherlands. And this year, we have a facility opening in Sao Paulo, Brazil, which will be our South American headquarters. And really what that does is it gives us the global capabilities to tout and activate with our partners, but also to execute locally. And I think it's a lot different when you're doing, like, let's say you're a North American org and you have a Brazilian team, but you don't have local capabilities to activate. It's a lot different to have local expertise, local staff on the ground. Our Brazil anniversary actually is January 15th, 2023. It's a 5-year anniversary of Team Liquid Brazil. It was actually 3 days ago. We did a piece of content for it. And that region started with 1 team and 2 support staff. And now we have the best women's Valorant team in the region. We have Free Fire. We have Rainbow Six world champions. We have 45 support staff. And we're continuing to diversify the enterprise with local expertise in all of these different regions. And we really want to make sure that the brand itself is ran like a true sports franchise while having clear values that are communicated to the audience. So we want to make sure that we're not just fitting in with everybody else and we're called a YouTube org, or all of the orgs are kind of blending in and they're all saying we're global, or we all have the same type of inventory, we're all ran the same way. We want to make sure that not only our capabilities are communicated properly, but also what the brand stands for, how the org is ran, what the enterprise's core values are. I think that's what we will be doing our best to communicate in 2023 and beyond, but also run a responsible business so that Team Liquid is here for another 20 years.
Yeah, well, I think you guys are set up obviously for success there with yourself and the others that are leading it and leading the charge. And, you hit it on the head. You're a true global org with opportunities to activate in each of those global markets. And you have certain values. And a lot of times when we talk to teams, I talk to a lot of teams and going on the teams and being on team side for a little bit, our whole thing when I was at Dig was like people would ask us what we stood for, and we always had an answer to that. And it wasn't just winning.
That's right.
And it can't just be winning, because you can't win everything. And also, having core values, is really key in differentiating yourself. And so I think you guys have done that. You've done it in a successful way. And I'm looking forward to continuing to find ways to work with you and the Team Liquid, organization. You guys have had some incredible success, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what the next endeavor is where
Awesome.
REVXP clients and Team Liquid collaborate. Mike, where can people find you and Team Liquid?
At Team Liquid on all socials, all handles across B2B platforms and social platforms. I'm Thix Nation, THIX Nation on Twitter. Same thing on LinkedIn if you want to hit me up or connect. Thank you so much for having me. Well,
Mike, thank you so much for batting lead off this year on REVXP Presents. It was a pleasure to catch up with you. It's been too long. I'm looking forward to getting out there and us grabbing some drinks and catching up in person very soon. And for those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. We know your time is valuable. We appreciate you joining and learning some more about this wild and crazy world of gaming and esports, and hopefully you found it valuable. Until next time, enjoy, have some fun, play some games, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.